Brown Bear, and I am a photo editor and retoucher at Bang On Photo. I've always been into photography. When I was younger, I was kind of that weirdo at the party with the little point and shoot, but I never really knew what I was doing. I didn't plan on getting into photography or really anything to do with the arts in this aspect. I was very much a writer, but then I went to the foundations course at NBCCD. They gave the options, and it ended up being the first media that I learned. By the end of that media, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life. Being a student and working at the same time in the same field, it's overwhelming at times, but it's definitely a source of pride for me. It helps me feel a lot more confident in my skills, and I've learned so much working for Chris, having this consistent overlap between learning in class and then having the in the field experience. I'm learning things a lot faster than I normally would. I wouldn't have been able to confidently work with Chris without the tools that I had learned in the previous semester in the photography course. It's interesting because sometimes I'll learn something here and then we'll touch on it in class and I'm like, on it. Especially with things like teeth whitening. He taught me a few different techniques on doing that, and when I got into class it was like, feet up, easy breezy, you know. Working here for Chris and going to the Photography Diploma program at NBCCD can be quite stressful. Personally, I find that yoga really helps. I try to go to as many classes as I can fit in, although working 30 hours a week and going to a full-time course load doesn't leave a lot of room for wiggling. I do find it really helps overall, so sometimes you've got to prioritize. It can definitely be a challenge, but I have to thank my teachers. They've always been really understanding, and they're willing to find ways to work with me in order to make my work schedule flow, because they understand that this is what most people would be trying to do once they graduate. And here I am in my first year already working the job that most people would want to have when they're finished the diploma program. So they understand that it's an opportunity I can't give up, and I'm just really grateful for everyone there for working with me. Recently, my job has been developing quite a bit. I've been meaning to move into video for quite some time now, but I just haven't had necessarily the motivation or reasoning to do that on my own. But Chris, he's a musician as well, and I wanted to make up some more hours, so he's like, well, why don't you come and try to get a video of my band? And he was actually really impressed with my shots. Going from there, he asked me to start doing a little more behind the scenes video work so we could get the studio out there more. And we'll be learning about that in year 2 of the Photography Diploma program, which I'm very excited about because it'll play really well with my new position here. Working with Chris has been really great. He's a really understanding boss, and he has so much experience under his belt that I feel like even just seeing him work and being around him when he's working is teaching me so much. I would recommend seeking out opportunities by being involved in the community and paying attention, networking and making friends. You know, it's kind of interesting how you think back and realize that everything's connected.